Yeah.
Okay. Hi, we are from Delta Gamma, and this is our Pita Cup presentation for the Citizenship pillar. For this pillar, we're applying for distinction. And we set up our presentation according to the different themes of the pillar, but we acknowledge that those themes are interconnected. It was just the easiest way for us to organize. And to begin, my name is Emma Hawes, and I'm the outgoing VP of Foundation.
My name is Victoria Robinson. I'm the current Vice President of Programming and outgoing honor board member. Oops, sorry.
My name is Elizabeth Young. I'm the current Vice President of Foundation, and my duties include working with philanthropy and service.
Okay, so first we're going to touch on our involvement with community service and learning. The first thing is our Delta Gamma service. We have to complete 5 DG hours per semester, and there are 3 main ways we get these hours. The first is through work with Service for Site, so that can be with any site-related nonprofit. The main one we do is the Cleveland Site Center, which is just right down the road. We're very lucky we have it so close. The second program is the Golden Acre program, in which we work with senior citizens, encouraging productive and social lifestyle through all ages. And lastly is a newer program for us. It's Joining Forces. With that one, we work with veterans. And our Greek life hours can be completed at any place that our sisters are interested in. We encourage them to be involved in other organizations such as Social Scholars, Learn to AMU, or Alpha Phi Omega. And within the last year, we've tried to really change this from just being a requirement to really getting something more from these hours and reflecting on what we've learned and have changed within ourselves from this service. To encourage that reflection, we've added extra questions to our service hour completion form that helps us track hours. Those questions require more thought and a written response, so it forces everyone to really think about their service. And we also did a really cool activity in chapter where we asked specific questions and really tried to have each sister think about what they're passionate about, and then Elizabeth and I created more resources for them to try to find service related to those causes, in hopes that by finding something that they're really interested in or passionate about, that it would take that requirement and make it something that we are excited to do and go above the 5 hours for. Additionally, for our philanthropy, we have 2 main events each year. In the spring, we have Pancake Night for Sight, and in the fall, we have Anchor Splash. We've also, along the lines of making it more about thought-provoking and stuff, we've tried to make these events more cause-based. And to do this, we've offered more resources about blindness and sight prevention at both events. We had a speaker from the Sight Center come and introduce herself at Anchor Splash. And another cool thing we did was that as a chapter, to help us be more motivated to raise money and to care more about this cause, we created a fundraising plan. So 50% of all the money we've raised within the last year has gone to the preschool at the Sight Center. And we're able to see those kids and see how our money is helping them, and it's strengthened our ties with the Sight Center and also with Service for Sight as a whole.
Each year we also have 2 major foundation awareness events that are mandatory for our sisters to attend. The first one comes during our recruitment training. On top of reminding sisters what all our service is about, we focus on how to recruit members that are focused on service. And so what we do is we practice possible conversation topics, or we also practice telling our story and how we are so committed to service and how that reflects Delta Gamma as a whole, in hopes that each new member class becomes more dedicated to service. Our second required foundation event takes place during chapter, and this is kind of like what we call a jigsaw activity, where sisters go into groups of about 10 and teach each other about our foundation. This is especially important because it comes right at the time of new members, and they are able to learn about our foundation from their sisters. This year I also asked members how their service relates back to our mission statement, which we call Article 2, and had a couple people share about that. Finally, each semester we try to hold a non-mandatory foundation awareness event, whether it be having a woman come in from the Cleveland Sight Center to talk about different types of blindness. We also have a woman come in from the Cleveland Eye Bank to talk about why it's important to become an organ donor for research for eyes. Through this education, we have seen our members become more passionate about helping out with Service for Sight related projects. This year especially, this has been shown through sisters asking for more and more hands-on opportunities, whether it be at the Cleveland Sight Center or at the Alcazar as part of our Golden Anchor program. For every activity that we have at the Cleveland Site Center that's hands-on, we always have a waiting list of people who want to volunteer there. I think this perfectly reflects how passionate and informed our chapter is about blindness prevention and supporting people who are blind.
Another way that we feel we live out the citizenship pillar is through a lot of our social justice activities. So one of the main social justice activities we do in our chapter is called the Human Dignity Workshop. This is a workshop that we host once a year, and now we're going to start hosting it once a semester. Basically, it is an activity done at chapter where you get to choose your topic, whether that's hazing, sexual assault. We did one on human trafficking in the past, and then this year we chose to do social inclusion. So during this past year, we had everyone kind of break out and discuss in little groups about what they felt their identifiers were, so how they identify as a woman, an athlete, a Democrat, whatever it may be. And then they discussed kind of how those identifiers were a positive reflection, so when they were very proud to identify as that, and then times when they kind of felt like beaten down, like one of those identifiers may have been negative. And then we did an activity where they had to state, I am blank, but I am not blank. And so that was kind of to empower the women in our chapter to realize that even though they may be like a certain stereotype, they do not fit the negative responses to that stereotype. And it got very positive feedback because women were realizing that not only do they hold certain biases in themselves that they should reflect upon and talk to their other sisters about, but that they should not give in to the stereotypes that people place on them. We will be continuing to have discussions like this throughout our chapters in the future, whether this be discussions about mental health, whether this be discussions about gender roles, etc., like fraternity and sorority, women's stereotypes, and so on, because we really believe that having these conversations and making chapter a little more deep and getting to know those connections with the women in your chapter is very important. Along with Human Dignity Workshop, we also are trying to do activities like Safe Zone trainings, Diversity 360 training once that gets off the ground and is open for everyone, SAVE type trainings. I know we have a couple women who have gone through these, and we try to offer them throughout the year, particularly in the fall during our Sisterhood Week, so that people have the opportunity to come to these, to be trained, and to really learn how to respect their sisters and other members of the community. We feel that this is important because during some of our past reflection, and part of the reason we did social inclusion as a topic is because we have so many different types of women in our chapter and so many types of different people on this campus, so we wanted to make sure that everyone was being included and that everyone was understanding how to do that, whether that just is accepting your sister but also being able to talk to them about whatever comes to their mind. We also had several women go to bystander training to learn about how to kind of interact with sexual assault, mental health, and really just any private issues so that no sister, no member of the community feels alone, and that these women in specific can bring that back to our chapter and teach the rest of the chapter on how to to not be bystanders in any situation. And lastly, we do something that we feel is very unique where we host a sticky situations recruitment workshop. I know we've done it with other chapters in the past as well, where we are able to talk to sisters about how to handle situations of recruitment, where a potential new member may come up to them about a private situation, whether that's a mental health problem or really just anything, and we can make sure that potential new members realize they are not alone and they have people to talk to, and we can handle these situations appropriately.
In the past, our chapter has struggled with finding forums where we could actively debate and discuss current events and hot topics. But recently we've implemented a Facebook page that we call DG World News. It's a page where you can choose to join and post different news articles that you feel need to be discussed or that your sister should be more educated on. This open forum has worked really well. You're able to comment on these posts and engage in an appropriate debate. This has been going on for about 2 months now, and our sisters are still actively posting and responding on the page. Another similar program we've implemented is Woman of the Week. A Woman of the Week email. Our Director of Social Awareness and her crew send out a weekly email in which a famous woman is highlighted, possibly a CEO, a political activist, or the like. It serves as a gentle reminder of how women can positively impact their community. It also gets sisters involved in writing about and thinking about important women. Finally, our sisters are involved heavily outside of Delta Gamma. These organizations include Asian American Alliance, the Society of Women Engineers, La Alianza, and various honor societies, dance teams, and even the undergraduate student government. Not only are these sisters involved in these activities for themselves, but they are always welcome and wish that we have attendance at their different events that they put on. We also have another Facebook page where sisters can post about different events that they have going on or that they're attending, and this way we have sisters supporting each other and learning about different cultures at the same time. This diverse involvement also brings unique sides to our discussions in forums such as our World News Facebook page. Our chapter strives to build positive relationships amongst ourselves in the Greek community, in the Case community, and the Cleveland community. One major activity we do to promote positive relationships in our chapter is a cross the line activity. Sisters all line up and step forward if a statement is read that fits them. These go from as simple as wears glasses to very serious like has been affected by sexual assault. This is able to break down barriers in our chapter because our members are able to feel safe enough to decide for themselves if they are comfortable sharing information with their peers. We also have statements like step forward if you support someone who's been affected by sexual assault. This provides a way of sisters knowing that they are supported. One great thing that came out of this year was sisters noticed that there were people struggling with long-term illnesses, and a sister stepped up and said, I want to start a support group for us. And so they had weekly meetings where if you were struggling with a long-term illness or if you wanted to support people who are struggling with a long-term illness, you could go to these meetings and talk about it. Within the Greek life community, we believe it's very important to attend the philanthropy events of other chapters on campus. They consistently support our Anchor Splash, and we feel that it's important to support their causes also. Delta Gamma provides financial support to sisters who are interested in going to these events, which has led to even more sisters in attendance. Recently, we have been part of the Greek Experience model on campus, and this has helped us develop positive relationships with the Greek Life office on campus. What they've also helped us do is create positive relationships with other organizations on campus. We have been able to utilize programs like CECL, and we recently hosted a blood drive where we worked with CECL, but this is because of the help from the Greek Experience model. And finally, the past couple of years we have worked very closely with the Cleveland Site Center, as Emma said before, not only donating money but volunteering there. They have come to rely on our help and look forward to our help. We have built such a positive relationship with them that the preschool at the Site Center are constantly asking us how we can thank them. They wanted to have a pizza party with us. They are so excited for us to help out and are always looking forward to us helping out there.
So we also believe it's very important to create a culture of care within our chapter and just create this so that sisters can bring it back to everyone they know. One of the ways we do this is through our honor board. Not only does our honor board act as a judicial board for the chapter to make sure that everyone is living up to their own standards and to our chapter standards, but it also is a way to keep everyone accountable and really create personalized systems for them so that they can be the best Delta Gamma and the best person that they can be. So instead of just putting someone on probation for not having a high enough GPA or for getting in trouble with the university or whatever it may be, we try to create personalized plans so that you are allowed to go to these events, but you're not allowed to go to these, and you need to do this scholarship plan. So a mentor from our chapter who is in a similar major, similar classes, will work with that person and really kind of show them how to take this on, what to do, and then we kind of check in with them throughout the semester so that they're not alone during this process. We do this for whatever it may be, and we also encourage women to come down to our honor board meetings as they're always open so that they can talk about concerns of their own, concerns about other members of the chapter, or really just any problems they think face the chapter faces as a whole. This can include, we also do a pulse of the chapter each week where we bring a woman down to talk about like how she's feeling in the chapter, where she thinks her place or like her role is and how she's contributing, how the chapter is contributing to her, and then also if she has any concerns or women that she would like to bring down to honor board because she thinks that they could use help or support. I know that our current Vice President of Social Standards who oversees honor board is also trying to create a more open environment for honor board, so it's not only seen as the judicial board, where she's having open honor board meetings where everyone can come down and just talk. She's also creating kind of like example sanctions where people can like sit through what this may look like if someone gets a statement of obligation review or needs to be put on academic probation or whatever it may be. Along with Honor Board, we also do positive programming. So we believe that not only should women kind of be helped through the process, but they should be recognized for their outstanding achievements or their outstanding efforts to live through our value statement of Article 2 or live through our service and really kind of dedicate themselves to that. So each week we recognize a current member for their outstanding living of Article 2, which is our values, a new member and how they live through our Article 2, and then someone who has done a great job with service. And that's specifically our Delta Gamma service typically. We also do positive programming just in terms of trying to program for environments that make everyone kind of have fun, because even though we believe it's very important to have serious discussions like Human Dignity Workshop and the ones I talked about previously, it's also important just to kind of make sure that everyone is there to support one another, knows one another really well, and can kind of say like, hey, great job. These can be done through sisterhood events where we try to kind of do intentional programs that not only kind of invite everyone to get to know each other, but do intentional getting to know each other so that it's not just the same sisters, the same cliques, but it's really people getting to know seniors if they're new members, juniors if they're coming into the chapter and not really knowing anyone. And we also try to focus this around what's happening at that time frame. So we've done ones that have focused on different cultures. We're trying to collaborate in the future with different cultural groups like La Alianza or just like Kismet or other dance groups that our members are involved with to try and bring back what they know, but also kind of create a fun time. So whether that's like teaching dance classes that relate to a culture, or before Greek Week, kind of getting everyone pumped up and going into spirit mode so that we can work with other chapters and really like represent DG well.
Okay, the next section we focused on was cultural competency. This is an area that we know our chapter needs strengthening and an area that we are focusing on and working towards improving. Though through many of the programs that we referenced earlier, through the Golden Acre program and through Service for Sight, we are able to interact with populations of people that live very different lives than our own, especially with people with visual impairments, working with them and understanding how they have adjusted things in their life to live self-sufficiently. And also with the Golden Acre program, learning from senior citizens and hearing about their life experiences we have found to be very beneficial for our members. We also have sisters, like we said, that are involved in tons of organizations on campus, be it through AAA, Kismet, or many others, and we encourage people to go and attend their events and to learn from them. Additionally, we have a large group of people that have studied abroad through their time at CASE, and we encourage them to come back and teach others about their experience. We're going to have a sisterhood event in the upcoming weeks based solely around that, just so that those people can share. We think it's important for the person coming back to spread the knowledge and for people to understand how that person had lived while they were abroad. We've also had other events such as an Around the World dinner in which we had food from different cultures, and there were note cards of information about the different foods and traditions surrounding those foods that we were able to read.